There are things in your life. That's right. And I'm talking to everybody in this audience. And all those of us who are sitting up in front of people. There are things in our lives that have been done to us from the time we were babies. A word from a mother that wasn't thinking, a father that didn't care, a teacher that was off the mark. They say things that become commands, but they're here, stored in the subconscious mind.
I forgot, this is the point I wanted to make. The fact that the minister made the decision to do this knowing people would oppose him makes me respect him even more. You know why? Because it's some of us that will find something like auditing. And if you have experienced auditing, you know I haven't done it to the, I'm just be honest, I haven't done it to the extent that I probably should, but I have had a session and it was very useful. I just haven't had a chance. I just haven't got around, to finish up or do more, but it was very useful. And wasn't nobody hypnotizing me, wasn't nobody, all that stuff I be seeing, wasn't nobody dangling nothing and put me in the chair. It was just asking me questions to get me to go back and realize, hey brother, there are some things that's on your mind that you thought was gone. It's not gone. And it's affecting you in present time. So it's some of us, you will find a tool that was helpful. You will find a tool that is useful, but because of your need for wanting to be accepted, you wouldn't even present it because you're afraid of the backlash. Because you're afraid of the mockery. You're afraid of the persecution that would take place if you presented something, but he knew what would probably happen and did it anyway because he knew ultimately what was actually useful because of what we've been through. You've been raped, molested by their father, by the uncle, by this, by that. And we think, oh, it's just in the back of my mind. That was back in the day. But then there are triggers that triggers us to take us back to that same space. And it brings up all the emotions. And now you listening to somebody in real time, but you're not really listening to them. You're avoiding past pain. You're looking at a person from trauma. The filter that you hear everything, the filter that you see everything is from that pain that you have not had the tools to deal with it. Now, if the teachings alone, message to the black man, our Savior has arrived, was enough, why did he tell the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to go study 104 books? If all we needed was just them 5 books, if that was literally, I'm talking about literally it, what's the point of studying over 104 books? Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's just be reasonable. Let's use our mind, man. Let's use our mind. This is supposed to make me a better Muslim. This is supposed to make me a better man, not take me away from something and turn me into a belief that I don't believe. It's supposed to, this tool is to enhance what I'm already in. Make me more clear, make me more, remove some of what they call the engrams off of mine. And here's the thing. Look, at the end of the day, whether you do it, believe in it, go to it or not, your butt still got engrams. My butt still got some trauma in my past I need to deal with. So you can say what you want to say about it. It's for your butt. You don't make the minister life no worse or better.
Remember, I ain't really here for the Nation of Islam. I don't even know if I have the correct words to express, but I'm not here for the NOI's defense or offense. In the sense of, I'm just here trying to extract the good.
Yeah, he did it for you.
Like, I understand people criticize Minister Farrakhan and things like that. Growing pains.
Presenting something so we can get better. Now, whether you use this or therapy or something else, the point is man. Go deal with the past trauma that we have gone through so that we can break free from our past. That's the point.
No, we really do, though. I feel like we'll never be able to be an honest people if we don't really be honest with the traumas. We got a lot of skeletons in a lot of rooms. That's one interesting thing about going to a HBCU. It's like being front row with something like the amount of young adults I've met just with so much church hurt that's ready to just like let it all out, let it go. The amount is crazy. And when I say church hurt, I'm not limiting that to just Christianity and the Christian church. I mean that in just like Black Holy Land, period. It's a lot going on.
So you reject that. Some of you don't do nothing though. So I mean, you brag about I ain't been over there, but you still jacked up just like the next person.
Bro, that's like a big thing in our community. Like we all be jacked up talking about how they jacked up.
You still got trauma. You still got issues. Many of us deal with the rejection of the mother in the womb. Like all that still plays a part in your life now, in your relationship, in the marriage, in your business life, and you wondering why you ain't moving ahead. And it could be these things that's taking place in your subconscious mind that you fighting because you want to remain conscious and remain right on a podcast. When your dang life can be saved if you go follow something or pick up a tool that can aid you and help you.
I don't think a lot of people want to be helped or healed, though. I think the podcast, like, when I look at our people, I do see, like, a big hurt. And you got to look at what disenfranchisement does to the human being individually. Like, look at the effects. What does poverty do to a human being? It dehumanizes them. So, and it makes them feel neglected. And they're already a lot of us are still in a black-white prism. So, all that's ever on the mind is just like the black people, the white people. And that's what I mean. You gotta be careful with that, bro, because the world is it's so much bigger than that. Then when you put a camera on that said person, hurt individual, they'll do whatever just to stay on the camera just because they finally feel seen. That's deep. They'll play whatever game, tiptoe around whatever. And America has made it profitable for pain. So this person developed an identity based off being in pain, hurt, the victim. And that was their identity at a public level.
And most people ain't even tried it. I can see if you went in and said, you know what, let me go see what this brother talking about. You ain't even did it. So you heard when she first came on, she said, I have no idea.
We ain't here for that. Let me see if we can get back to when the minister talks. Oh, there you go. There you go. All right.
There's a particular brother. He's a great teacher in the nation. But I notice some of us can't handle someone who challenges our authority. Everybody that challenges our authority, we see them as an enemy. Right. But when we look closer, the brother was abused when he was a child. I'm talking to all of us. Boys and girls being abused, being raped when they were children. They think they got over it, but it's here. Bring them in an organization, put them in authority, and all of a sudden they got to prove macho. All always trying to say, I'm a real man. They are real men. But the abuse that they suffered, they have to be relieved of that in order to become the real man that they are born to be. Any woman in this audience who has been molested, who has been raped by a father, by an uncle, by a friend, by a relative, college don't free you. Church don't free you. It gives you an emotional escape. But to relieve you and give you a chance to live. When I learned that my brother had been abused, I started looking back at some of those in the nation who were great men, but always had to prove their manhood. And I started wondering what happened as they were growing up. What happened to them in a foster home? What happened when they're taken away from their parents? See, these are the things that we as a people suffer just a few generations coming up out of slavery.
That's right. Yeah. Yes, sir. Right. Still with us.
And the pain is here.
Yes, sir.
In the recesses of our minds. And we have a college degree, but not whole. We are the CEO of a company, but we're not whole. We're standing in the pulpit, but we're not whole. We're called senator, congressman. We're called by these big titles, but we're not whole. So I looked into something that I heard about 35 years ago by the man who was my first minister, and I was his captain in Boston, Massachusetts. I met him again when the nation fell, and I was moved to Chicago, but then he was a Scientologist, and he began telling me about auditing. I heard what he said. I liked it because I love science, and I love when we can put scientific law, physical law, and the counterbalance of spiritual law and make them harmonize. I like that. I hate, listen to me good, I hate spiritual cowards who don't want to look at things and who feel that because I have something great, I can improve what I have by finding something that will make me a better representative of what I represent.
I just want to talk about how he said a mouthful. You don't really hear that too often in today's time. Because, I mean, like he said, bro, we think being the macho is just muscular, macho. And I fell victim to that too until I started understanding that I was trying to defend the little boy that got hurt. And the only person well, not only person, but let's be real. If it wasn't for Gates, it wouldn't even be cool to talk about a lot of things that a lot of us have been through. You know, even King Randall. And I know that brother be tired of like hearing about it, because I can tell like when you on mission and you ready to make the change, they'll make it like this mainstream thing instead of actually getting to the root of the problem. The root of the problem. We got a lot of people who have their microphone for the black people and they're not healed. They're not whole. They can't be honest with themselves. They think that being that token is what is the reward of of going through what they went through. And that's not the reward. The devil got many tricks. Anytime you read something, the devil reading it too. And that devil is inside you. Yeah, think about it. Read Job. Because a lot of times I think we just have a misunderstanding of the devil. We think it's just this. The devil got to get clearance by God. The Holy Quran make it say, do they think they would just say that they are believers and will not be tested? We sent you on this earth to see if you're gonna do good deeds. A good deed will be tearing down your ego and looking at it for what it is. We have a lot of people in leadership positions, and it's their ego. They get disconnected from the times. Intent was probably great to start off with, but then every leader knows this too. As you step in, new issues come. They evolve. You have to break down and listen. What you went through ain't what everybody went through. That's not the all of all. The whole point is to get better to where we can reduce some of these things happening. We have to have safe spaces for our community. But we can't if we keep having ego wars. Because you don't want to hear the little boy inside you. Because you don't want to accept the fact that you're still acting like a little boy. And it's so easy for the quote-unquote black man to fall into that trap. Because let's just be real, bro. The standard of intellectualism for the black man is on the floor. You don't got to do much. Man, it don't take much to read a couple of scriptures and get the people behind you, and now you in the pulpit somewhere. We see the game that's going on. Ignorance is a weapon, and it's being capitalized. Ignorance is a weapon, and it can be capitalized, and it is. It is. I like how you said we can't accept a challenge of authority. That's why you hear I feel like we have so many elders that say, oh, the youth don't listen. Nah, you're not listening. You don't want to accept that there's a better way. You're outdated. You're not making sense. The issues of your time aren't the issues of today's time. We have tools and resources that you didn't have. And no one's taking it as like, oh, look what we got. Y'all don't got. Because we still got our own issues today, but it's just like we can't communicate our issues to you because you're putting your issues on us as well, too. Because you don't want to solve your issue. Spiritual cowards. Boy, that's a mouthful right there. Spiritual cowards. Because that white man going to help you be a spiritual coward. Sell your people out. William O'Neill. You either Judas or Jesus. Ain't no in between. What the Bible say? You can't serve two masters. You're going to love one and hate the other. You're going to love one and hate the other. That's what people mean when they say pick a side. And it's all about unfoldment. That's what the teachings of Islam has taught me. Islam is the unfoldment of man to unlimited potential. And I'm sure it's the same in Christianity, Buddhism, hoodism, gangsterism, whatever it is. I just don't think you can be a real leader if you can't accept the people and truly guide them. Don't accept the people and blame the people. Like, you understand that a lot of black boys receive inadequate education and you want to blame them because they can't read or they don't want to be like Obama. So many games have been played, but we have so many spiritual cowards. How many times Hakeem Jeffrey got to be called out for being a sellout to AIPAC? How many times Van Jones got to be called out? How many times Oprah got to be called out? And I'm just using these idols as examples. I really don't care for them. I think fame is destroying the black community faster than anything else. Because we don't even want solutions. We just want to be seen. We just want to be heard. Look at Gayle King. They still trying to bring young women. They haven't evolved. And now if we call out on certain things, Tyler Perry hasn't evolved. I like Black and Beauty. Very debauchery. But at least it shows some truth on how we have rich black men who sneak around and do things that they do not want to be caught on. And they'll pay any dollar to keep it silent. At least the truth is coming out a little bit. That's why I like it. Kids going crazy. Kids dealing with demons. Why not paint the strong black man? And I hope that's what's coming now that he got a whole land, for a studio and stuff like that. And I just feel like even when it comes to the elder men, because if there's one thing I did notice in that Tyler Perry thing with the Beauty and the Black is the older man said, I'm from a time where you can't be gay, basically. Now we're in a time where you can be gay, and no one's really going to care, bro. It's just more so you got to accept everything that comes with being gay. Everybody not going to want to be around you, but that doesn't mean the people you wasn't around before don't want to be around you. Go with like-minded people. But why put up a front and try to sneak around like, oh, yeah, nah, bro, if you gay, you gay. Ain't nothing wrong with it, bro. Just accept yourself. Ain't nobody gonna come out here and cut your head off or nothing like that. But don't accept that some people probably not gonna want to be around you. They don't want that influence around their kid. Spiritual cowards. It's gonna be hard for you to, and yeah, you gonna have to deal with that conflict. Because if you say you a Christian, you say you a Muslim, you say you a Buddhist, all these teachings and things that tell you man was created for woman and woman was created for man. And the ultimate expression of God is creation. Creating a human being that God blew into their nose. You can only get it from one way. And I think that's why it's touchy to talk about the sexuality thing. But it's okay when the LGBT come down and beat up on everybody and tell kids that they can go to school and tell grown adults how to address them. That's backwards, man. Spiritual cowards. We got so many people scared to speak up against that stuff, man. But I remember being in college, I couldn't even really give a presentation because they was worried about the audience being LGBTQ. Or what would you tell them if they asked you this? I'm going to tell them the truth. I'm going to tell them what I think. Just because I tell them what I think, what they got to go home and kill themselves or something like that? But if I get called a nigga, I'm supposed to accept it. Oh, brother, you look like you done. I got to accept it. You have to accept and give the same respect. You have to give the same respect that you want. If I can sit down and hear you out and tell you I don't support that, that doesn't mean I'm your enemy. Just because I don't like cheese don't mean I'm going around about to take every cheese out of every store and throw it in the trash. I'm just not going to buy it. I don't eat pork. I ain't going to the grocery store throwing it away or telling people, oh, you eat pork? I can't talk to you no more. I don't care. I know plenty of people, bruh. What they say, my best friend black. My best friend a vegetarian. I got friends that don't eat I almost slipped there. You ain't gonna catch me. I got friends who do not eat beef or anything that's an animal. We still friends. When I was in the army, I had soldiers who said, Chief, you the first black person I talked to like this. You don't know where people come from. You don't know why they have the outlook they do. Some people have a reason why they don't like black people. Every black person they ran into robbed them, lied to them, whatever the case may be. You got reason. There's reasons why black people don't like white people. Sometimes they experience racism a lot. I got called a nigga in 10th grade. I will never forget that in biology class. White boy. I had just got to this white school. Different world, bro. I grew up in like a little, the black side of town. I thought the whole world was black till I got there. Different. I ain't run into that. I never been in a majority white environment until I was like 15, 16 years old. Called a nigga. Me and one of the football coaches got into it one time. I had other students come up to me and say, hey, yo, you know he racist, right? And they just said it like it was normal. I don't know what that is. My mom didn't raise me in an, I don't want to say in an awareness like she failed or anything like that. She just tried to keep my heart pure, bro. My mom ain't raised me to not like white people, nothing like that. She ain't have to. It was silently understood when I got there. You never know. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody. La-di-da-di, everybody. Shout out to Brother Ben X, though. Hopefully this opens, you know what I'm saying, further conversations and things like that to go forward so we can heal. We do need to do some auditing. We got some stuff we need to clean up within our community. And I ain't talking about money and finances all the time. I'm talking about a spiritual thing. Money is energy, currency. Before the Federal Reserve became a centralized thing for the banking notes, cities used to have their own note. Cities used to have their own notes. Fayetteville, North Carolina had its own banknote. Your state had its own banknote at one point before we came together and had this Federal Reserve and put Abraham Lincoln on the brown coin. I wonder why. And we try to make him such a controversial, but he represented Moors in court. And this ain't me trying to persuade you to go join the temple. Nah, bro. Noble Drew Ali say his flock will know his voice. I don't believe in doing dawah like it's been typically done. Oh, trying to go out there and recruit people. No, bro. No. People gonna do what they want to do. This is the land of the free. You got the freedom to do what, who, how, what you want to do. And when you want to do it. I just believe we at this point where we got to understand how COINTELPRO really work. Us being fighting and everything. Man, what? I think they just cut the water supply to Nevada or something like that. We in a time where the president's son got a $10 million bounty on his head. We got recall on eggs. Man, I'm not finna argue with you because you a Hebrew Israelite. And I just think, I shout out to Wiser Dome TV, but I ain't finna argue about what's better, Moorish whatever, and Moorish science and black nationalism. Bro, we don't need to be arguing that, bro. We don't. Shout out to them. That's great work. We do need to have these conversations. But like, and I know this is sidetracked. I don't want, because I just don't want to comment on that video too. But an X on them. Oh, like the black nationalist brother was like, the Moorish word is an exonym for the European language. That's why we need to be black nationalists. Bro, black is an exonym too then. That comes from the English language as well too. We're going to be arguing all day about this. They confused us, bro. It's that simple. They bumped us upside the head. We ain't going to figure it out arguing. And if we going to have debates, bro, let's actually set them up in a debate manner. Not throwing slick shots and, oh, this brother ain't researched. We look like monkeys, fools. We doing it to ourselves. Bismillah. We better than this.